here yet, but I'm an hour late. I totally forgot. This is Aaron, my buddy. He installed the outlet for the kiln so we can have our pottery studio. He's helping me fix the floor now. He's telling me what to do, and he's a pretty awesome dude. He's got an awesome story. I just made him a piece, which I guess I can show. Like, it's not going to be found out from this, right? So he picked out the crystals. I didn't want to wrap them. He put them together in this shape I've never done before, and I did not want to. Here, okay. I did not want to wrap it like that. There's two of them on top of each other, and then two on either side, and I didn't want to wrap it because I didn't know how it would work. But it came out pretty cool, and
I think it's amazing.
He videotaped most of it, so
yeah, I am super happy with it.
So you guys are going to get to see most of the tutorial on it. Maybe tomorrow I'll put it up. But I'd like to have Aaron, if you'd like to come on sometime. He's super busy. It might not be for a year, but the Tuesday nights we just hang out and we talk about life. So if you ever want to just talk about life, he's got a great story.
I'd be down.
Awesome story.
Yeah.
And you know, I'll talk to you first about whatever you feel okay sharing. But
man, I'm an open book, man.
He's been into very, very huge ups and downs, like most people have never been through. And he's come through it all. Now he's like 100% on top of the mountain, and he has a lot of wisdom from people to give to people who maybe haven't even gone as far down, but are just struggling where they're at, or depressed or whatever. But tell him something. Give him a little teaser. Like, what would you say to people who are struggling right now? Put you on the spot.
Put me on the spot. Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing and do everything you can to stay positive.
Yeah.
Like, that's the main thing. It's all about your frame of mind, and being mindful of where you're allowing your thoughts to go.
Yep. Grab those negative thoughts.
The only thing you really have complete control over in life is your thoughts. Everything else is chaotic and up for grabs.
That's so true.
You can control your thoughts and your reactions and how you feel about things. So yeah,
I needed to hear that.
Stay positive, man. Stay mindful of where you're at mentally.
I need to hear it. I wake up in the morning and I get these negative thoughts.
Yeah.
And I sometimes just let them drift. I could literally just tell them to shut up, and I'd probably feel better immediately.
Yeah. It's hard though. It's hard to do. It's definitely a learned skill.
Yeah.
But
how did you learn it?
By having plenty of time to practice.
Through some of your downtimes, you use that time to learn some mental discipline.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Aaron is a super busy guy. He does all kinds of construction. He just happened to have a few hours now, and so I made him a piece, and then we're just hanging out. And I totally forgot I was supposed to go live an hour ago. Wooden Flag called me and reminded me, so you can thank him. That's my brother-in-law, and so anyway, I don't know if you can hang out or you got to go, or I don't know.
I can hang out for a couple minutes.
All right, so yeah, if anybody has any questions, if everybody's having a bad week, a bad day, feeling down, feeling like health problems, family members, just feeling negative thoughts, not liking where their life is at, throw out some questions, ask some things. Aaron's here to answer your questions. He's like your who's that lady they used to write into in the newspaper?
Dear Abby.
Dear Abby. Yes, dear Aaron. He'll be your advice column for tonight.
Oh, this girl's name's Abby too.
There you go.
There's a lot of wise Abbies out there. She's definitely an old soul.
And you got 3 daughters, right?
Yeah. And my oldest turns 18 tomorrow.
Wow.
And yeah, she's killing it. She's just killing it. She's got a great job now. She's waitressing, but she loves it. And getting almost straight A's at school. So yeah, I'm really proud of her.
That's awesome.
Super killing it.
Yeah, I put him on the spot, and he immediately starts talking about his daughters. That's
one of my main focuses.
that is a loving dad right there. I'm gonna put this on the stand, so excuse me guys for a second while I adjust. But
I think you need a little more tape on it.
Yeah, you guys can't see. I duct taped the crap out of it.
It works better.
I actually put up more tape yesterday because it started to droop.
Yeah.
Because I have this thing rigged up with a with a it's actually a
mic stand.
it's a mic stand
Oh,
with a camera thing attached to it.
Nice.
With a camera clip camera clip. So anyway, let's see. Is anybody saying it? Nope, nobody's talking. We got 18 people here. Throw out some thoughts. You have grumpy pants. Charlotte, stop being grumpy. Andrea says, keep doing the next thing. And that's pretty much it.
Keep pushing. Keep pushing at it. I mean, have goals. Set goals. You got to. Even if it's something as simple as saying, I'm not going to tell myself this certain thing today, you know, and then work towards that. Yeah, just keep pushing. Just keep doing. And trying to be better.
You want to sit down? There we go.
That feels good. I've been standing for a while.
Yeah.
Been on my feet a lot today. Been a long day.
Yep. So you said you worked 11 hours today.
Yeah, 11 hours. Back and forth. I can't wait to get my Apple Watch so I can see how many steps I put in a day. Because some days I wish I got paid by the mile. It was a lot of back and forth.
That's great. And I can't, this is the only time ever that he has free time because I can't get him to, I have projects all around here and he's booked up for like weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And it's I'm definitely grateful for it because usually this time of year in my line of work, you're like scrambling to find things to do, scrambling to make money. And this year I can't catch a break. So I'm not complaining about that at all.
You're squirreling it away a lot of it though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Right now it's all going into Bitcoin. Like pretty much every spare dollar.
Yeah, Aaron's telling me about Bitcoin. I might jump up, throw a little bit in there.
Get in now. It can't hurt to buy it because it's definitely going to go up.
Yeah.
And you'll have large banking institutions that are connected to the Federal Reserve and even the Federal Reserve itself, like Janet Yellen the other day, putting out there something about double Bitcoin being able to be double spent, and it wasn't true. That's impossible with the way Bitcoin works. But just her saying that caused the price of Bitcoin to drop a few $1,000s in a day.
Wow.
Yeah, it's because she has that kind of influence.
Yeah,
you know?
well, that's like all stocks. Like if some CEO comes out and
like
says
Elon
something.
Musk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tweets something and stocks go crazy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're trying to attack Bitcoin that way because they can't. They have no control over it.
Yeah.
So,
everybody wants control.
yeah. Especially the world's largest banking cartels. They would love to have control over Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And they're trying to create their own. But
so a few people just came in. This is my buddy Aaron, and he's just the coolest dude ever. And I wish I knew 1/10. I wish I knew 1/10 of what he knows about construction. I would just be building crazy stuff. So instead of seeing tables full of stuff I need to organize, you would just see giant sculptures made out of everything under the sun. But
I can't wait to be able to start building furniture.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah,
that's wild. Maybe
like
we'll
those,
build some stuff.
River tables and stuff, where
Yeah,
with the table with the epoxy.
Yeah, they get the colored
They're
epoxy
so
to make
awesome.
they cut a groove, or they get wood that has
or
like a
hollowed out.
tree, yeah.
And they fill it with epoxy and
Yep.
different colors. Dude, I want to learn how to do that so bad. I would love that.
Yep. So we didn't plan this. He came over
Second
and
coolest guy ever. Right? Yeah, he's the cool guy.
nah. Do you show that again? Do you have it?
Oh.
So he came over and he said, I just got done with the accountant. I actually had some time this evening, and he happened to be able to stop by. And he said, "Can I make something for my girlfriend for Valentine's Day? Can you make me something?" And I said, "Yeah, come on over." And he's picking through my table and picking out some crystals, and I'm like, you know what? I'll just throw something together. He'll like it, whatever. But he takes like 20 minutes and picks out 4 distinct crystals, puts one here, one here, one here, and one here, like he's building a little man. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to put these together? Because I want it to look really good, and I've never put 4 crystals like this in kind of like a I don't know, diamond formation.
Well, you nailed it, bud.
I took my time. I took a long one piece of wire, and I tried my best. So this is what we came up with. And again, he picked these crystals, and
It looks like a fairy. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of like a fairy or an angel even. I love it.
so yep, there's the blue one, the pink one, and then there's two little pink ones on the side.
Yeah.
And halfway through it, not even halfway, I said, you know what, everybody's gonna be so mad at me if I don't videotape this. So I handed him the camera, and he caught most of the rest of
I
it.
tried.
So I'll put that up tomorrow, and you guys will get to see
I
me
tried
actually
my best
making
to
it.
Film it well.
Yeah, the camera kept fighting him, but
It's too advanced.
you move the camera a little, and it goes totally out of focus.
Yeah.
They're used to me complaining about the cameras. 'Cause yeah, but so then we're talking. We finished it. I finished it. I gave it to him. He's happy. He's talking, and then Wooden Flag calls me, my brother-in-law, and he's like, "Hey, next time you do a live show," and I'm like, live show, and I look at the time, and it's 10 o'clock. I said I was going to start at 9 tonight, and I'm like, like Home Alone. I was
Next
like,
time you do a live show, make sure you're there.
yeah, right. Make sure you actually do one. So anyway, that's what happened. So thankfully, I turned on the camera and I said, "Hey, Aaron, you want to be live?" And he's like, "Ah." I was like, "Well, now you are."
Yeah. So here we are.
And
10 seconds later.
yeah, and I actually talked to him a few months ago. I said, "I'd love to do a live show with you because he has a great story." Are you comfortable telling any of it, or
Hey, whatever, man. Let's do it.
do you want me to paraphrase, or do you want to? It's up
I
to
guess
you.
you
I don't want to
start it
put you on
off.
the spot like this. You can say
man,
no.
You can start it off.
Okay, so
What's
this
more significant
this is-
to you, I guess?
all right. So this is what Aaron, the first time we talked on the phone before I even met him, we knew each other through friends of Facebook. Never met him. Had no idea he lived in the same state, like let alone 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
Because all the other friends we know are in California and Texas and whatever.
Yeah,
So
lots of them.
so I said, so we're talking, and he's like, yeah, and basically, so I'm going to paraphrase what he told me, and he can correct me. He's been in construction since he was 14. It's his life. He can do pretty much anything. Obviously, there's things he's better at, but he can do electrical, plumbing, carpentry, some cement stuff, and probably a bunch of other stuff.
Pretty much everything construction related, especially residential.
So right around a certain time, he's working really hard, and throws his back out, and really painful. But he's not going to stop. He keeps working. So what he does, he starts self-medicating with some stuff that's not really legal, and so he gets into that, and
Well,
then
it started out legally.
Okay.
The first go was legal.
okay.
But then it spirals out of control quickly
So
because you can't not work.
So, well, some people cannot work. People
Yeah,
give up
some
all the
people
time.
can. I
This
can't
this
do
guy's
that,
he's a
though.
workaholic, and that might be what saved him in the end. But in any case, so then now he's hooked on this stuff because he's taking it like crazy so he can keep working because the pain in his back and everything, and then he gets involved in some shady deals in that world with that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and then what's next thing he knows.
Well, I got sucked into committing a robbery and did almost 4 years in prison for it. But I'm grateful for that time because it gave me the time that I've always needed to focus on myself enough to fix all the things wrong in my way of thinking and my reactions to things, because I didn't have the greatest. I mean, I had a good childhood, but I had a really bad stepdad, and he was drinking and abusive, and I was a very angry kid. I was fighting all the time, like all the time. And I mean, you could probably say that was my first addiction was fighting.
You never know it now. He's the nicest guy in the world. I joke with him. I'm like, he's gonna beat me up. He's like, I'm
Yeah,
the
right.
big teddy bear. I wouldn't beat up anybody.
I still love it though. I did box for a long time, but
So I cut you off.
It's just not in my heart anymore.
Yeah.
To do that, because I've heard a lot of people that didn't deserve it.
So he was telling me when in prison is almost like what saved him being in prison. He's telling me how he started spending all his time reading a lot of really, really good stuff, like and working out, like just building his body, building his mind, meditating, like practicing
at least an hour a day. At least an hour a day of meditation, at least an hour a day of some kind of exercise, usually heavy exercise, but something. Even when I'd have a little alone time, I even did yoga once in a while.
and he has a big sweatshirt on, but he's huge, like I'm always joking with him. I'm like
definitely good shape.
Every time he comes around, I like work out more that whole week afterwards, because I'm like, man, what the hell? And
yeah.
And so anyway, so then what do you, so yeah, 4 years, and then what was it like when you came out?
Like being born again, I guess.
Wow.
Because I knew that this time it's going to be a whole lot different. And
you're never going back to where you were.
Oh God, no! I couldn't imagine. I couldn't let my kids down, and I couldn't let my family and friends down doing that. Yeah, that's just not an option. Not even an option. And I've learned to respect myself and value my time above all else, you know, because time is important, and time management's important.
Yeah.
And when you lose so much of your time and you lose control of so much of your time, it makes you value it that much more.
Yeah. So how long you been out now? How many?
9 months.
Just 9 months?
Man.
I thought it was like 5 years.
No,
Are
9
you
months.
serious?
Yeah, 9 months.
I had no idea.
Yeah, man.
You have no idea. Like he literally works. He works like what, 60 hours right now?
Maybe. I mean, 7 days a week, unless I got something going on, like
averaging 8 or 10.
Yeah, 8. Yeah, at least 8 hours every day.
Okay, so that's about 60.
Yeah, I'd say 60 is probably about right.
And he's has friends. He has a girlfriend.
Everything's coming together, man. It really is. Like, it's just one good thing after the next keeps happening, and I know that that's a direct result of changing my thought process and learning to shape my reality, because we all share a reality, but in reality everybody has their own version of it, and you have the ability to shape that. Like a lot of people say, oh, like The Secret, that stuff. A lot of people are like, oh, that's bullshit, that's not true. Like, yeah, you can't control your reality like that, but yeah, you really can, and it's a matter of like putting out what you want to get back. That's a big part of it.
Yeah, as somebody just said, law of attraction, right?
Law of attraction, right? That's what I was looking for. Yeah, law of attraction. It's real. And it's definitely real.
It's funny. I just put out a video like a month ago where I said I met with my tax guy, and this is kind of ironic. I met with my tax guy about 2 months ago, and devastating how much he told me I owed, because I had not been on top of my taxes for years. I'm thinking, I'm a starving artist. I'm just a hippie. The government doesn't care about little old me. But then I'm like, I have a lot of money passing through my hands. I'm not spending it on myself. I'm not buying clothes. I'm not going on vacation. I'm all spending on art supplies, but a lot of art supplies. And I'm selling a lot, and I'm buying more art supplies. I'm getting a store. I'm getting a kiosk. I'm traveling the country. I'm paying for hotels.
That's amazing.
The government wants a piece of all of that. And I'm thinking, I'm fine. One day I'll hit it big. Then I'll go back and pay it all. It's bad idea. I should have been paying a little bit at a time. So anyway, tax guy hits me with all this. I'm devastated. I come home like somebody punched me in the gut 10 times, because I knew I owed a lot, but I did not realize how, like, all the penalties, the fees, the what's it called, the the interest and everything. So anyway, I go home and I'm devastated. I go to bed. Like, I get pizza. I treated myself to some pizza and wings just because I felt so horrible. And I went to bed and I woke up the next morning, felt horrible. And I took me about half an hour and I finally said, I can't live like this. I don't care if I die. I can't live this negatively. And I said, well, I feel like I'm on my back and some big Hulk is stepping on my chest and leaning over me with his fists. That's what it felt like emotionally. And I said, so what do I do in that position? I either do nothing, which is not an option, or I reach up and I start boxing this big, humongous, 3 times size than me dude. So emotionally, I started doing that. I started saying, everything was in my head was saying, you're done, you're crushed. And I kept saying, I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to get out of this hole. I'm going to make money. I'm going to pay this off. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to keep fighting. Today, I'm going to keep fighting. I said that like a meditation,
Mantra.
like a mantra all day for like 8 hours. And by that evening, not only did I feel better, I felt better than I had felt in months, maybe in years. So that's okay. That's great. That's all great. But that's not actual things happening. What happened was, the very next day, somebody said, hey, why don't you try something business-wise? And I said, no, that won't work. And they said, come on, give it a try. So I tried something business-wise, and all of a sudden, it's like the floodgates broke open, and all of this new revenue started coming in, brand new stuff from something I'd never tried before. I didn't think it would work. Like, all this new stuff started coming in, and then I tried it again a couple days later, and it doubled. I tried it again a couple days later, and it tripled. And I was like, oh my gosh. And this is, who knows if I had not been in that mental state of mind that I built myself up into to be positive, if I would have been even able to hear what that person told me. They said, try something, and I didn't want to try it. But like, and I don't compare any of that to Aaron's story. Like, if he described in detail the amount of pain he was in, like for months before getting into shady stuff, before being locked up, like the amount of struggle he went through, the depression, all of that, and then to be all the way on the other side of that, I don't know.
Yeah, it was bad. Definitely a bad time.
And
I really didn't think I would come out of it all. I really didn't think I'd be here today. That's for damn sure.
Isn't
a lot of people I love aren't here today from the same thing.
And in your heart of hearts, there was a time when you literally, like, it wasn't a matter of like trying to psych yourself up. Like, you literally thought there was no hope.
Yeah. I didn't think I had it in me to get better.
And that's like that feeling.
I didn't even know if I wanted to, because I knew the work that would be involved, and I was afraid of doing that. And
that feeling that, like, it doesn't matter how positive you are, it doesn't matter how much you hope. It's over this time. There's no road out. There's no steps. There's no ladder. This time it's over. It really is over. You had your chance. You messed it up. You had several chances. This is what your thoughts are telling you. You had like 10 chances in your life and you screwed up every single one. What do you expect? Life is going to give you unlimited chances? You got it. It's this time it's over. It really, like, just accept it. That is 100% what you feel. There's no 99 with a 1% chance of hope. There's no hope. There's nothing. And what do you do in that moment? And what I remember from myself, because I don't know Aaron, I don't know how deep I don't know what it felt like for him. I haven't had those exact struggles, but I know, like, a time like that, what I said was, I talked a lot of crap in the past. I always told people, you can't give up. That's being a wimp. That's being a bunch of words I don't want to say because it's a family friendly channel. But you know, if you ever give up, you never give up. If you ever give up, then you're a loser. You're a baby. You're a whiner. You're worthless. You're like, never, ever, ever, ever give up. Winston Churchill said, never, ever, 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 ever give up. And I had that plaque. Someone gave it to me from Winston Churchill. It was a little black thing. I had it stuck on my dashboard. Never, ever, ever give up. And I would say that to everybody. And everybody would say, oh, you don't understand my bit. I don't care. Never give up. So I ran my mouth that bad that when I was in a place where there was no hope, I said, well, I better take my own advice. And I'm not saying that glibly. Like, it was a devastating feeling. But I said, I have to take my own advice because I talk so much crap to everybody else. When they were down, I said, you loser, stop thinking about how down you are and fight. And now here I am, like, well, if I don't take my own advice, then what is that saying? So I fought because I ran my mouth. That's it. I fought because I told enough people that they should do the right. When I had to do the right thing.
Yourself into the corner.
Yeah, I had like.
You had no choice.
I had to fight.
How bad would you look if you didn't?
And
you know.
And that didn't change it at that particular time.
How bad would you feel about yourself if you didn't?
This is a couple years ago, and this isn't the first time I'm telling about where I had that financial breakthrough. This was a couple years ago. This is before most of you were even on this channel, and I said, I didn't come through it in a day. I didn't come through it in a week. It wasn't a month. It was like many months before I even believed there was a way out. It was many months of just going through the motions. I got to fight. I got to fight. I got to fight. I don't feel any better than I did last week. I should finally admit there's no way out. I'm still going to fight. I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight. This is pointless. Just admit it, Matt. It's over. I'm going to fight. I mean, like, if you could tell me now to look back on that person 2.5 years ago and say, you know, I would have grabbed him by the shoulders and screamed at him, fight harder, do it faster. But that person had no vision, zero, couldn't see anything. And I had to just keep doing it. But anyway, this thing keeps drooping. It's hiding your face. It does the same thing to me. Before I know it, I'm like this in the camera. I'm like, so that's when I, you know, just looking at my mouth. But anyway, I haven't been reading all your comments, guys, but I've been kind of glancing down here and there. Anyway, it's 10:30. I don't want to hold you up, but you can stay as long as you like. Anybody have any questions for me, for Aaron? Any thoughts?
A couple questions, and I do gotta go. I still haven't eaten dinner.
Oh, see, he hasn't eaten, so this is
fine.
I
can still hang out for a few.
It's a new thing I'm putting him through. It's a fasting regimen, and he doesn't know it. Get surprise! You're on TV now, and you get to fast.
All right, let's do it.
All right, well,
I'm halfway there.
He took some time to hang out here of his crazy busy
really
day.
Glad I did, man. I'm really glad I did.
Throw out some comments or questions before he goes to eat something, so he doesn't pass out.
I'm not all the way with it.
And there's people. Beverly says,
you're welcome. Well, thank you.
There are people who are going to watch this later when it replays.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you if anybody comments anything specific. But
what are we on?
This is YouTube Live.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
And after I close it, it'll put up a replay so anyone can rewatch it anytime. That's why I said make sure your girlfriend doesn't watch it until Valentine's Day because she'll see the surprise.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I am not opening. Oh yes, I'm not opening to the public. This is completely a studio office space right now. I'm open to you guys.
It's a mess, Matt. You need to clean this place up, dude. This place is a mess.
Yeah.
You got a lot of stuff, bud.
He's just walking around picking it up. He's like, "What's this?
Playing with everything.
What's this? What's this? Wow, what's this?"
Yeah, what's the story behind that one?
He's like, no
There's
way.
So many cool. You got so many cool things here, though. So many cool things. Like, there's definitely you're gonna be making a bunch of stuff for me, just so you know. Like when I was sitting here, I saw these little elephants. My daughter Abby loves elephants, and I was thinking that these two would go great together, alternated. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? And I might want you to make that for me.
I'm gonna be making jewelry again, guys. You're complaining I wasn't making it for a couple of weeks. Beverly, there's Beverly's comment to you.
Well, thank you. Nice. That's excellent. I like that. You know, I wish my girlfriend were here right now because she'd be so much better at this. She is.
She's a ham.
Her energy is ridiculous. Like we go to the mall and just random people will say things like that. Like we went to this one kiosk in the mall where you get these acrylic blocks with a 3D thing printed inside of it, and they're super cool, super cool. But the guy helping us is like, you know, I just gotta say, I love your energy. Like you just put off this amazing positive energy, and she does, and that's like.
So she's the extrovert of you two, like she's
more so than
more
I
so,
am.
yeah. Because
I'm definitely more of an introvert.
Yeah,
I flip flop.
Yeah, you came across very energetic every time I talked to you, but. But I didn't warn you about putting you on camera.
No, this is
You're taking it well for a surprise.
Oh, hey, this is what's happening. That's fine.
Yeah,
it's all good stuff.
Well, anyway, I'm gonna hang out for another hour because I feel bad that I came late. So I'm gonna give these guys at least another hour.
1 year, 4 months. Yeah, I just hit 4 months on October, or 4 months. 4 years, October 16th.
So you had to be clean when you were in, and then you just took it from there.
There's
ways to get stuff.
Drugs in there.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
But it was just you had to hit bottom to like wake up and make that full decision, I guess. But you used those 4 years to build yourself.
I did.
That's something like
I said. I told myself I wasted how much. I thought of all the time I've wasted, and it made me sick. Just the time sitting there being high and doing nothing, like it made me sick to my stomach thinking about it. And then I'm thinking of all the time that I'm gonna waste being in here, and I'm like, you know, I can't do this again. Like I'm not gonna waste any more of my life.
You took those 4 years like a college education, but like even more than like a college education mixed with boot camp.
It's funny. I tell people like people are like, where have you been? Oh, I went to college. I say college.
Yeah,
that's code for where I was.
I don't think, and no disrespect to college. I be hard pressed to find a college that would change somebody to that degree. I mean,
it's what you make of it, man.
You're right.
Because you have the time. You have the time to put into yourself. So it's
so
really
that's
what you make of it.
I could tell when I talked to you. It wasn't really 9 months. It's been like 4 years. 9 months you've been out, but it's been 4 years that you've been building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I've always been a pretty positive guy. Well, maybe not always, but you know, I've meditated for a long time. Like that's something I started doing in my late teens. But I wasn't really using it to better myself enough, I guess. I don't know. I would more use it just to quiet my mind in the moment. But then I learned so much more, so many more possibilities to it. Like you can really tap into a lot of inner insight.
And so, just to recap for people who missed the beginning, he's had in prison. He committed to spending 1 hour meditating every day, 1 hour exercise. 1 hour to reading,
1 hour to exercise,
and 1 hour to exercise, and heavy exercise.
Most days it would be more than an hour for each of them.
But that was the baseline.
Yeah,
you had to do at least 1 hour of each. That was your commitment to yourself.
Exactly.
Can you imagine? Just you're not. You guys are not in prison. Most of you, hopefully. Can you imagine if you stopped right now? Just picture your life now until 3 months from now. If you took 3 hours of every single day, 1 hour to meditate, 1 hour to read really good, positive stuff that will build you up, and 1 hour for heavy, heavy exercise. Maybe start slow if your body is not used to it so you don't injure yourself, but slowly build up to 1 hour of heavy exercise. If you did that every day, 7 days a week for 3 months, where would you be?
Completely different person.
Like April.
Yeah.
April, whatever.
By April, you could be a whole new person. And I was really fortunate to have my Aunt Sharon. She works at the library, and I was really fortunate to have her to be able to send me certain books.
Who is this?
My Aunt Sharon.
Oh, your aunt. Yeah.
Yeah. I was really fortunate to have that, and extremely grateful. One book, one of the first ones I read that was from the library there, really opened my eyes to a lot, and it was Unconditional Life by Deepak Chopra. Chopra.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm saying it right.
I don't either.
But yeah,
I know
that guy's awesome.
Yeah.
That guy is awesome. And yeah, that really gave me a lot of insight into how much control you actually do have over your reality and over your body. Because he's a medical doctor, but he's also a Buddhist and practices transcendental meditation every day. And the book is full of stories of people with like hopeless medical conditions, completely pulling themselves out of it and turning around from it just by really a matter of belief. What you believe, you gotta be careful about the things you believe in, because they can have a huge effect on your life and lives of the people you love.
It's like I have to tell I feel like I want that voice, what Aaron just said, to be in my head like twice a day. When I first wake up, and before I go, like, and then maybe halfway through the day, to remind myself, like, it's literally just a battle of thoughts. For me,
Yeah.
it like, how's my day gonna go? It's all about my thoughts. I mean, I might say, oh, today I have 3 things lined up that are good, and tomorrow I don't have anything lined up that's good, or I have 3 things I don't like to do, but that's really not what it is.
One of the biggest mistakes almost everybody makes is to allow your feelings to direct your thought process instead of the other way around. Instead of controlling your emotions through your thoughts, you allow your emotions to control your thoughts, and that rarely turns out well.
I did a video a year ago, and Baxter Monkey always says she goes back and watches it, where I said your feelings are not real, and what I say is your feelings are real in the sense that your emotions are like, they're servants. They reward you for what you've done, or they bring you through times you need to go through, but they're never supposed to be your leaders.
No.
It's like putting the toddlers in charge of the credit card for the house. Like, toddlers are adorable and they're fun, but you don't put them in charge of your household. Like, you are in charge, and then you enjoy your feelings, like, or you go through your feelings. But
yeah, and you have to put in work to get the good feelings.
Exactly.
Because if you don't put in work, you're just going to be bad feelings all around all the time.
And we all cheat. We all try to cheat to get the good feelings. Chocolate cake, extra nap, soda, or you might hit some more dangerous illegal stuff, or even video games, or even wasting whatever. That's cheating to try to get the good feeling. And so sometimes you give yourself a little of that, but
everybody does it in some form or another. It's all about dopamine releases. So everybody, you're always trying to do things to get that dopamine release.
Behind the hard work.
Really good feelings require the ability to delay gratification. That's how you get the really good feelings in life. Setting goals, especially long-term goals, and meeting them, and then immediately setting new ones Yeah.
Yeah.
Delaying gratification is the key to into being successful and financially independent and happy. Like it's a choice. It's a choice you make. Not just happy, but like happy is like a temporary emotional state. But because if you're trying to chase happiness all the time, it's not gonna you're gonna be unhappy a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's the choice making to just be joyful and grateful. You know what I mean? Start. A lot of it starts with being grateful for what you do have and what you are able to do in life, and then making a choice to extract joy from that, and keeping that as like a baseline emotional state.
And that's yeah, like if you are building your life around like like you said, positivity and gratitude, then it doesn't matter that your ups and downs are happy, not happy, happy, not happy, because you're building up so much higher that like, you know, even when you're down, you know that you're building, and that makes you feel so much better than being down when you're hopeless. Like,
You're not gonna be down for long.
no, you know, the down is it's just a temporary thing. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, oh, it's raining today. You don't cry because it's raining, because you know tomorrow it's going to be sunny.
Right.
You're like, but you do cry if it's raining and you don't have a house and you're out on the street.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely do.
So, yeah, and it's funny what he said about gratitude. Gary V, who I love, I talk about my heroes, Gary V, Wim Hof, so Aaron's talking about Deepak Chopra, which I might have said wrong too, but yeah, like Gary V always says, he says gratitude is my fuel. In fact, he goes through this meditation every day, which people would find psychotic. He says, and this is a guy who's worth 200 million, and he doesn't care about any of it. It's all day by day. What is he enjoying his life? It's not about the money. But he wakes up every morning and he says, he goes through a thought exercise where for 15, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, he names the 9 most important people in his life: his wife, his kids, his mother, his father, his brother. Like, he names all the people who are most important to him. And then he imagines that they died. He takes himself to that emotional place where he imagines that he lost them. And it sounds horrifically masochistic to do something like that, but he does it just for a few minutes until he can't take the pain anymore. And then he snaps out of it and he says, but I didn't lose them today. I didn't lose any of them today. And he says after that, his whole day is amazing.
I can understand that, because then nothing could be worse than that in that day.
And he said, I could lose $1 million deal that day. I don't care. People are like, how are you so happy? But that's like,
get that.
It builds your gratitude. Oh my gosh, these 9 people are alive today, and they're not going to be alive forever, but today they are, and I'm overwhelmed with gratitude.
Because it could always be so much worse. Life could always be so much worse.
That's another.
And people don't keep that in mind. Like, all right, yeah, you might not have got that raise, but you still got that job, you know.
It's another thing is, like, when I was at my worst, I thought that's as bad as it gets, and there's no way that's as bad as it gets. There's somebody out there who's 10 steps below, a dungeon below where I was. And then there's so wherever you are, if you give up and you say, this is as bad as it gets, that's when it, you know, but if you keep fighting, right, it's everything, nothing is static, everything is moving. Yeah. If you keep fighting, then surprise yourself. Anyway, I feel like I'm just rambling.
Life itself is a constant struggle and constant suffering. But without that, if everything was just great all the time, then everything would still suck, because you wouldn't have if everything's great all the time, then you wouldn't even know it. You wouldn't even know it was great. So you have to have those ups and downs. So you got to learn to appreciate the downs as much as the ups, because the downs are when we learn. when we make mistakes or we fail at something or something just bad just happens, you know, you can extract wisdom from that no matter what the situation, and also keep yourself centered in the fact that it could always be worse. And yeah, it's about the journey and trying to make it better for everyone else that you care about, even if it's just random people, you know, like buy that guy behind you in line a cup of coffee. It's not much, you know. It's just a cool thing to do. The other night, went out to eat a couple weeks ago, and they were really busy that night, and they were short-staffed, and the waitress was super stressed out. I could tell. She was so nice though, still maintaining a completely professional attitude, and was still super nice. She kept apologizing for things taking a while, and I knew it was something out of her hands. Well, I gave her 100% tip that night because I knew that would like make her week, you know, because she needed that day. So, and that made me feel awesome.
Right.
You know?
I was just
Really
gonna say
made me feel
you gave
awesome.
yourself a tip there.
Yeah, because I could do because I'm able to do something
Right.
like that. I did it, and I didn't feel it didn't hurt me at all. It made me feel amazing.
Yeah.
And also made my girlfriend fall in love with me just that much more because she didn't know that I was gonna do that. I didn't, and then she saw me giving her a tip. She's like, "Oh my God, baby, you serious?" She's like, "You have no idea how much I'm falling in love with you right now." It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. She deserved it that night, man. That waitress was awesome. And I know she'll never forget me when I go there to eat again. So, you know, she's gonna treat us that much better.
Yeah, and if you're like, you'll never forget that you did that.
Right.
Like 3 years from now, you might be feeling some type of way or something, and you'll see somebody and you'll be like, you know what, I'm going to do this again. I don't know.
I actually do it kind of frequently.
Yeah.
Something I like to do.
There's
Yeah, she got extra that night.
It's something I want to try now. But yeah.
Because it is a really bad job.
I did it for a
super
year.
stressful
It
job.
is
Did
so. I didn't even last a year. I did it for like 10 months. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how my oldest daughter likes it so much.
It
But
takes
she loves
it takes a certain kind of brain. I don't multitask well. I have tunnel
Yeah.
vision, and you got to multitask like a monster.
She loves people though. She's a real people person.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
Yeah.
actually how my sister met her husband. Was she was serving and he was one of the customers.
yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
You gave Space Kitten some mental sparks.
Nice, good vibes.
Well, anyway. So
yeah, I'm gonna head out and get some dinner, bud.
I was hoping you'd
Yeah.
stay another couple hours. Just
Couple
two
hours?
more.
Ah.
No, thanks
You have to
everybody.
start
Thank you.
paying me.
Please thank Aaron again
It was
and
nice to meet everybody. Thank you. Thanks for the good vibes.
yeah. And I seriously, I'm very grateful. I wanted to have him on, and I was about 80% sure it was never going to happen, just because he's so busy in our schedules. But there you go. There's
Well, if it's later at night like this, it's easier to find free time. I just don't want to work.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I
I was like, while I make this jewelry, can you fix my floor? It's only like an 8-hour job. Can you please? He did give me some tips on some better concrete because they gave me the wrong concrete, which is
Yeah.
weird. Well, anyway, yeah. Thanks again.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah, make sure I have
Don't
everything.
trip on the messy
Right?
place.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have you make me save these two.
Okay. Put them
Save them too.
together.
Yeah,
you want a couple of them?
I want a bracelet out of it.
Oh, a whole bracelet. I gotta take the whole. I'll take the whole box
Yeah,
then and hide
yeah.
it. Otherwise, I'm gonna end up giving it to someone.
Yeah, just alternate them.
Pull out the necklace one more time if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah,
Just
sure.
a couple people might have come on
Absolutely.
late. So this is why he was here. He picked out some crystals. I made this for him, and I was really annoyed because I'd never done this pattern, but I'm really happy it came out. I'm really happy I
I
got
think
challenged.
it looks amazing. She is gonna love it.
So yep, he picked out pink, three pink and one blue, and he arranged them just like that. And I was like, oh, that is a pattern I've never tried in my life. I don't know if it's gonna work.
Right. You nailed it, dude. You
Thanks a
definitely
lot.
nailed it. Hey, thank you, man. She's gonna love it.
Appreciate it.
Definitely.
Yep.
All
Thanks
right,
again,
bro.
man. Take care.
All right. Good night, man.
Yep. Be safe. Slam my
Yeah.
door, please.
I'm gonna use your bathroom on the way
Oh
out.
yeah, go for it.
All right.
Here we are. Thanks, Barefoot Hippies. Barefoot Hippies, your video went up. I didn't even look at it yet. I don't even know if the thumbnail looks weird because I didn't have a good thumbnail, and I loaded it and then I forgot, and so I don't even know how many people watched it, but that's up. I might need to change the thumbnail. If it has a weird thumbnail, it might have a thumbnail of me like this, like just a blur of, because if you don't pick the thumbnail, the algorithm just picks some random part of the video. So who knows what's up? Maybe it's me, like could be anything. It's holding beads. Okay, well that's not too bad. All right, thanks for letting me know. Because I can't change it now while I'm on this thing. So anyway, I'm all full of warm, fuzzy feelings. No, but that's I don't know. I feel like I should have been writing down everything he said and like making post-it notes and putting them all over my room and reading them to myself every day. Let me get some water. Oh, I have some right here. Have a good one. So anyway. Oh yeah, I should put Melvin on the coffee cup. Why didn't I put Melvin on everything, right? I feel good. I used my voice more today than I wanted to, but it's not really terrible. It just feels like tomorrow I should rest it more before I do the show. People don't get this. It's funny. Everybody keeps getting upset with me or wanting to know what's going on, but I purposely picked this mall for the space. I picked a mall that was not doing so well so I could get low rent on a space for a studio. I did not pick this mall to sell to people in the mall. I have sold to people in a mall for years. And if I wanted to sell to people in a mall, I would go to one of the super high-end malls that I've been to, and I would get a teeny, 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 tiny little spot like I did because they're super expensive, the rent. And how many people have seen how huge this space is when I walk around? I mean, you can't really know it if you're not here, but you can get a pretty good idea if you watch while I'm walking around. I am paying like half as much for all of this space that I used to pay for a tiny kiosk in one of the biggest malls in the country. And it was worth it to pay that exorbitantly horrible rent for that tiny space because I had tons of customers from all over the world ready to spend money coming through constantly. But that was years ago, and I don't want to do that anymore. And really, the internet has taken over so much that like it doesn't even work as well anymore. I wanted a space to make art. I want to make big art. I want to make all kinds of art. I want to have stations for different types of materials. I want to do jewelry and pottery and painting and wood carving. And That's why I want this place. I don't want to worry about opening up my doors and having a few teenagers come by and look at some stuff and chatter to themselves and then go and then go off into the distance and have to pay somebody to man a cashier booth all day long for a few people who might stop in and look around and then walk away. Um, so I am super overwhelmingly happy about this. I love this place. I only wish I had an army of people to clean up all the messes I make constantly. And I'm starting to develop a very small army because I have some helpers now, thank goodness. And anyway, that's my little soapbox for tonight. Sorry if that was a little bit too much. Dino, haven't seen Dino in a while. James, glad you're here. There was a guy earlier. There's a lot. Every time that guy comes on, it sticks out, and I remember there's a guy earlier who said something about. I think he said good job on the necklace, and I didn't mention it, but thank you. Oh, Phyllis, that's so exciting. We were laughing when we saw you buy up all the kits in like 2 days once. We are like, let's make another one because Phyllis might still be watching. We were really excited. That was fun. We have no kits now because we ran out of plastic boxes. I'm afraid the boxes we get are being discontinued because I'm finding them harder and harder to find, and they're perfect. Those little plastic boxes. There's hundreds of different types of plastic boxes I've looked at, and these are perfect. The shape, the size, everything about them is perfect, and I'm trying to hunt down as many more as I can before hopefully they're not going to be discontinued. We're not even an hour in. I feel like we've been talking for 3 hours. When you get someone over here who like has this heavy story, it's crazy. Yeah, I called the Dollar Tree warehouse, the national warehouse, to try to order them, and they're out. The warehouse has none. So that kind of freaked me out. So I've been telling everybody, like, go hit up every Dollar Tree you can and buy them all before somebody else gets them. It's true. I did. It was a discipline for me because I ramble so much. Every time he said something, I wanted to say, I can add something to, like, every time he got out 3 words, I wanted to, I can add something to that. Oh, that reminds me of something. But I'm glad that the longer we went on, the more he just, because in the beginning, I just turned the camera on him and he's like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then he was just kind of like, and I was like, oh, I hope I didn't put him on the spot, but he slowly warmed up, and I think it really he really appreciates it, like it's resonating with people. Like the best feeling in the entire world is I'll open up my app that tells me about all the comments that came in on various videos, even videos I posted a while ago. If a new comment comes on, it usually notifies me in this app. I'll open it up and I'll see some random person just found my channel and just found one of the videos about something, and something about, usually one of the videos about like psychology and stuff, and this person will say, I needed to hear that right now really bad, and that helped me today. And I'll just get all teary-eyed, and like that's better than 100 people who are just like, awesome channel, although I like those too. Yay, yeah. I don't even have any to show you because they're gone. They're all gone. I like Oh, there's one over there. It's sold, but it hasn't shipped yet, so I'll grab one and show you guys. So it's just a plastic case, but the beauty is it's really shallow. The like I just bought these today from Walmart, and look how much deeper they are. And when they're deep, it's hard to get the beads out with your fingers. So these sections are really shallow, so that allows, and each section is curved. So when you grab it with your finger, it slides right out instead of just being cubed. And plus they're really flat, so they're easy to ship in a regular envelope, and you know, they can ship for less. Everything's compact, tight, so everything, we put a little bubble wrap in there and everything is tight, so it's safe. And then it's just got like perfect compartments. We have a system where we have like 10 millimeters, 8 millimeter beads, 6 millimeter beads, 4 millimeter beads, earring pairs, and you know, everything. So they're just really great. They're in the hardware section of Dollar Tree. And basically, they're called Tool Bench, I think. It has a black label, like, see this yellow sticker? It has a sticker over the front, but it's black. And it says Tool Bench hardware case or something like that. And they're usually in the hardware section of a Dollar Tree. But if you can find any, and you live near me, and you buy up all of them, buy them all and bring them to me, and I will just hug you and kiss you and say, you've saved the day. Let me put this back before I misplace it. Lauren, that sounds good to me. I'm super disorganized with stuff like that, but I'll see if some of my helpers could get on to something like that. So, you got to meet Aaron. You got to see the Dollar Tree plastic cases. This is like the best night ever. Like what else could possibly, you know, what else could go right? And I was saying earlier, it's weird irony, because I met with my tax guy like literally 2 months ago. It might even be to the day. So like maybe a day off. 2 months ago, I met with him when I had that story about being super depressed for the next day. And now I met with him again today. Totally different. This time I walked in there, I had my laptop, I had all my folders, and came in there, and it was like his assistant sat down, said, okay, we're going to go over this year. I said, okay, I got this, I got this, I got this. And they said, okay, are you okay with this? I'm like, oh, I'm great with this. And they said, well, you owe for this. I'm like, fine. I mean, the mood was like, it was like I was a different person. And I walked out of there and I was just like, I just felt like I was on top of everything. Like, totally different person. 2 months later. Nah. I wish all of you could come visit. I wish we could all hang out in person and just do a big group hug and then clean the whole studio. That would make me so happy. The crazy thing is I had Mary here yesterday, Marley's mom, and she was all ready to clean. She had hours to help me, and I was so wrapped up in getting all the tax stuff lined up that I really couldn't give her any time. And so she was ready to help, and she you know, I wasn't there to tell her where everything needs to go. So hopefully next time she comes in, we'll be able to knock out all this stuff. Andrea, I would say I am, only because I have a back door, and my back door is even with the with the sidewalk. So except for a tiny little lip like this, in the entranceway, there's no stairs. There's nothing I'm on the ground level. Like you park your car, if anyone who's in a wheelchair can get in the wheelchair, go, from the parking lot to the sidewalk. There's a little ramp. There's a little area where the sidewalk goes like this, so you can just slide right up. And then my door is right there, and my door has like a tiny little lip in the entranceway that's like a half inch. And once you bump over that lip, that's it. You're in the store, and all the stores on one. I don't have a second floor that I know of. Maybe if I climb up into these ceiling tiles, I might find a cavity up there and I can build a second floor, but we'll worry about that later. Yep. Come hang out with me. Although if you bring a wheelchair here, you're kind of a little bit obligated to give me rides. Like I want to sit at least on the arm of the chair and go fast. We'll have to like move some of the tables and make like a little pathway. We'll have like a little racing like thing going on, and we'll go woo. We'll put on Eye of the Tiger and we'll go fast. I'm just saying that like I kind of feel like I'm kind of gonna expect that, if that's okay with you. I'm sure you won't mind. There we go. Yay! Um, Yay! So I have two offers of people who are going to let me race their wheelchair. This is Everything is going right today. I'm telling you, everything is going super. Well, I have to go watch Barefoot Hippie's video and make sure I put the right thumbnail. I'll put a different thumbnail if I can find a better one. And I can stand on the back. That'll be so fun. And then we'll go fast. I'll push, unless it's motorized. Then we'll just go. I wish I was in California. I've only been in California for 1.5 days once. I love the idea of how great the weather is there. Gunpowder burns. Oh, there's so much stuff I want to try. But I'm not going to complain. Pennsylvania is not terrible. There's some good stuff here. It could be the North Pole or the South Pole. That would be way worse weather-wise. I think I have sprinklers. I'm always worried about that. I don't want to set off anything. That would be awful. Well, good night, Barb. I'm gonna go soon. Barefoot Hippies, I'm sorry. She took all that time to write descriptions and I just went blah 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 blah. I have just been out of it this week, but you don't know how grateful I am. Barefoot Hippies, that box put me through 2 giant 6-hour to 8-hour live shows. That box was tremendous. Like, you have no idea how grateful and how excited people were by those stones. A lot of those stones in there, and I still haven't gone through some of the smaller pieces in there. I mean, I've gone through them, but I haven't like organized them and shown anybody them yet. Um, yeah, Sunday was insane. I was trying to hit this goal I had, and I hit it, but it was like it was a marathon. Is that what those are? Rose petals? I was like, I said to Marley, "What is this? I can't tell what this is. They look like lava stone, but they're lighter." And it said something about roses, but I was like, she's like, maybe there are rose petals, and I said, no, no, that is so crazy. I was really confused by that. Okay, you guys, it's your turn to teach me something. Teach me something. Why should you not scrub a cast iron pan or pot? Why are you not supposed to like thoroughly clean a cast iron pot or pan? Like, you know, just scrape it, just wash it really rough until till it's shiny. It takes the oils out. So what all right, so this it's treated with oil to keep it from rusting because iron rusts. Okay. So once you scrub the oil out, then it becomes regular iron and it'll totally rust. Is that the answer? It's seasoned. Seasoned, not like with pepper and garlic, but seasoned with oil? Is that or does it actually have something that flavors the food? Every time you cook, does some of the seasoning come into the food, or is that just a phrase used to describe how the metal is treated? It's treated to make it rust proof. It acts like Teflon. Okay, so stuff doesn't stick. So you actually treat it. If you have a cast iron pot, you're supposed to add oil periodically and heat it to get the oil into to you know, be inside. Is that how it works? All right, so you bake it. Can you use any oil? Olive oil, like canola oil? Is there like certain oils you use, certain oils you don't? Oh, interesting. So you have to use specific foods that work with the cast iron pot. Vegetable oil. Okay. Okay. Wow. This is a lot. I'm glad I didn't try to look it up on the internet. You guys are answering questions much better. Wow. Canola oil, vegetable oil, lard, and Miss G does not like them. So, can you believe I got this far in life and never knew? I knew that people didn't like them being washed and they would get mad, but I didn't have any of the knowledge about what they were all about. Sunflower oil. Isn't it great when you put tortillas on a pan and they get crispy? Like instead of being like, isn't like the difference between a crisp, slightly browned tortilla compared to like a floppy, like moist, like wet dough tortilla? It's like night and day. Hmm. So I guess you have to research which oils have a high flash or smoke point. Yeah, I like that idea that you can take soft tortillas and cook them in a way that makes them hard, like taco shells. Never store it wet. Interesting. So I guess you wipe it out with a paper towel, someone said. So it sounds like most of the basic cooking oils will work. Is butter not a good thing to add? Is butter different? Is butter and olive oil are my go-to for cooking, but that's my limited amount of cooking. I'm really good at making a very, very small amount of dishes taste pretty okay. Sometimes good, sometimes really good if I get lucky. But rarely can I make 10 dishes in a row and they all taste really good. It's usually like good, good, really good, good. Nah, what did we learn here? Good, good, good. What did we learn here? Good, really good, good. That's my 10 dishes in a row, 10 different nights. Yep, butter is good for eggs. So okay, butter does burn easily. Butter is great for steak, any kind of meat, steak, fish, anything you're frying on the pan. Steak, fish, chicken, butter. Butter's better. Extra virgin. So here's a question. Extra virgin olive oil seems to be what everybody buys, but you can get regular olive oil, which is more yellow. Obviously, that's lower quality, it costs less. But where does it fit on the scales of oil? Is regular olive oil non extra virgin? Is it higher quality than canola oil? Is it higher quality than vegetable oil? Is it vegetable oil, by the way, is soy oil. It's soybean oil. Generally, if you read the ingredients, is regular olive oil higher quality than butter? Like, what? Who knows these answers? Avocado oil. Someone said coconut oil was really good for you. Just like 10 years ago, coconut oil was supposed to be all the rage. And I tried it once. It tastes like candle wax. Never have I been more disgusted by something that should make flavor better. But that's just me. Maybe some people swear by it. But coconut, same thing with coconut milk. Coconut, no. Now I like coconut, like I like an actual coconut. I like coconut water. Nah, I can take it or leave it. It's supposed to be healthy. It doesn't really. It tastes like someone says it. It tastes like. I'm not going to say what somebody says. It's kind of nasty. Someone said it. I'll just say it. Someone said it tastes like dishwater. it tastes like it tastes like you took the dishwater out of the pan after washing your dishes and then had three different people gargle it and spit it back into the cup. Yay, coconut oil. I mean coconut water. Especially when it's room temperature. Um, Now, if you have to do a fake milk, almond milk is my go-to, and vanilla sweetened almond milk, because if you're gonna do fake milk, you might as well make it taste good. Let's be for real. So yeah, I know it's not that healthy. I know they add sugar and vanilla, and I know that that's cheating. I don't care. If I have to do fake milk, vanilla sweetened almond milk. That's the way to go. I have not had hemp milk. Rice milk is good. Coconut milk, blah, never. No. Soy, no. Not only is soy not taste good, soy is bad for you. I was telling people this is why I'm going to get on my soapbox. Let me get up here. Here's my soapbox. I'm up here. Okay, you ready? I was telling people this is why I always say take the word of a doctor or, what people in the news with their science stuff and everything. Take it all, respect their learning, respect where they come from, but then take your own intuition, your own gut, and take it all together and you make the decision. Because if you go in the 90s and you follow their nutrition experts about what's healthy, it is literally everything that is unhealthy today. And everything they said was unhealthy then is everything that's healthy today. It's like complete bizarro reverse world. Like all the criminals are out and all the good people are in jail. Like everything is flipped. Like up is down, down is up. So let's go through the list. In the 90s, coffee, horrible. Don't even touch it. Chocolate, awful. Eggs, the worst. Soy, the best. You can't get enough soy. Soy is a miracle protein, most wonderful thing on earth. This is in the 90s. Carbs, tons of them, as many as you can eat. Grains, whole grains, all day long. Meat, bad. Oils and fats, almost never. Okay? Now let's get to the 2000s. Let's jump maybe 2010. Total opposite. Eggs, a miracle food. All the nutrition you need to survive in one little container. Eggs are a superfood. Now, what were they in the 90s? Horrible. Stay away from them. Tons and tons of bread. Worst thing you could possibly do. In fact, you can cut out all the bread and live healthy. Meat, if high protein, healthy meat, great. Eat a lot of it. Good protein's good for you. Soy, horrible. Horrible. Soy is bad in most cases, unless it's treated, fermented, whatever the heck, a certain way. Soy is bad for you. It imitates estrogen. It throws your body chemistry off. This is what they're saying in 2010 versus the 90s. Soy was in everything. Tofu was in everything. Tofu was just soy curd. And like chocolate. Chocolate has, what did they just discover? What are they called? The things that kill the free radicals and help you live longer. What's that word? Give me the word. Give me the word. Come on, you guys got it. Nope. What's the word? What's the word that kills free radicals? It's in chocolate, it's in coffee, it's in antioxidants. Thank you. Antioxidants. Chocolate has antioxidants. Coffee has antioxidants. Wine has antioxidants. You should have a little bit of dark chocolate. You should have a little bit of coffee every day even. Coffee is still debatable. Some people still say stay away from anything caffeine. But coffee is now on the good list, usually. Wine, 1 cup of wine a day is heart healthy. You'll live 10 years longer, they were saying in the early 90s. So who do you listen to? You listen to what one person says, you listen to what someone else says, you listen to as many different people that are experts, but then you take your own intuition, you take your own trust, the life you lived, the lessons you learned, you kind of mix it all, and then you decide what's best for you. And then here's the biggest thing I'm going to tell you, the biggest thing ever. Once you decide what you're going to eat, No matter what this expert says, no matter what that expert says, no matter what you feel, whatever. Once you decide, you eat with gratitude and you enjoy your food and you be so thankful you have food and you thoroughly enjoy every single bite. And when you're done, you get up and you live. You don't stress about what you just ate. You don't beat yourself up about what you just ate. If you think you ate too much, go for a walk. If you think you ate too little, you can eat again later. Don't worry about it. If you think you ate the wrong thing, who cares? It's one meal. Go live your life and make a better choice next meal. Cocoa Boo. So there's me on my soapbox. Did you enjoy it? Would you like a brochure to come to the next soapbox? The ushers are going to be walking through the aisles if anyone wants to give a donation. James makes the good chocolate. Oh, see, Linda's going to be cooking for me. Linda, I'm gonna once I hit the big time, I'm flying you over here. We're gonna give you a kitchen and let you do magic. I want to see some of that stuff. Aha. So here's a question. No, I'm not. Should I get into that? I'm not going to get into that. Should I get into the carnivore vegan debate? Probably not. Probably not. I'll wait until somebody totally agrees with me, and then we can say, yeah, that's right, that's right, that's right. It's much better than finding someone who disagrees with you and being like, well, you have a point, but you're really dumb and you're really wrong and you're really wrong about everything. Sorry. That's less happy. That's not a happy conversation. Look at my necklace. I made it like this, and then every once in a while it flips over like that, and you see the back of the leather. So this back of the leather used to look really white. So I took a brown Sharpie and I colored it all in. So now it looks nice and red brown. So if the good side is showing, that's fine. But if it flips over, it still looks okay. You know how some leather, like on the back, it's really light tan. It was like an eyesore. This is not the same t-shirt as yesterday. It might be the same jeans as yesterday. But new t-shirt, it is the same brand, probably the same exact everything, but it is physically a different t-shirt. Yeah, and I'm not in any way saying that you should eat anything you want and be proud and not think there's consequences. Obviously, there's consequences for everything you eat. But I think people beat themselves up about, or they over stress about I think you should trust your body a lot more than people realize. I mean, a lot of times overeating really healthy food is worse than eating just the right amount of less healthy food. Should I say that again? Bet ruffled some feathers with that one. Overeating healthy food is worse than eating just the right amount of less healthy food. But a lot of you will find you don't like that. You disagree with that. I don't care. That's what I say. I can't tell you. I've known a lot of people who had the most gourmet meals, and they would tell me up and down how healthy these meals were, and they were really unhealthy people. And meanwhile, I'm going to McDonald's twice a day. Once upon a time in my life, I was going to McDonald's twice a day because I was starving, I was poor, and the dollar menu was actually cheaper than cooking. And they told me how horribly unhealthy I was. But I could run 2 miles at any given moment like that. And I was on no medication, and I was pretty good. And the person telling me how unhealthy I was on 5 medications and couldn't walk more than 50 feet without trouble, but was telling me because this person was eating just the right balance of all these foods that they were much healthier, and they're telling me that I was terrible for going to McDonald's. And I don't want to make anybody feel bad, because maybe some of you have a hard time walking 10 feet. Like, not trying to make anybody feel bad at all. I'm just saying, don't drive yourself crazy trying to get the perfect food or the perfect this or the perfect that. Like, just live, just do your life. I lived on McDonald's for like 5 years, like 2 out of my 3 meals a day. True story. Scare some of you. I had no health insurance during that time. I know every time I got a health checkup, all my levels were normal. Now, you may say, oh, that's going to come back and bite you. Those 5 years, they're just sitting there waiting and waiting. And sometime, maybe 10 years from now, you're going to like explode you're just going to burst into a explosion of unhealthy blob. You're just going to blah, all because of those 5 years. We'll see. But I will tell you something. Even when I went to McDonald's, I did not order fries. I ordered salads a lot. Believe it or not, people actually do eat the McDonald's salads. I ordered salads a lot. When I did get the dollar burgers, sometimes I'd take half the bun off, so it was less carbs. At least in my mind, it felt like it was less carbs. And I would drink tons of water. I did not drink Coke, no soda. So going to McDonald's twice a day for 5 years, but no soda, only water, tons and tons of water, eating mostly the meat and the salads. Some people, not every, but some nutritionists might say that that's a lot healthier than going, having a gourmet cook do absolutely all kinds of wonderful organic this and that and this and that, and then having tons of bread. I don't know. There you go, James. That's the same thing. For years, what is the most important meal of the day? What is the most important meal of the day? Who can name it? It's been put into your head for years. I always thought that was the weirdest thing for anyone to say. Because this particular meal, when I made it a big meal, my day was ruined. It was the most disgusting meal of the day if you didn't eat it in moderation. Exactly. The most important meal of the day. Garbage. Sorry to hurt your feelings. I don't know why anybody ever said that. In fact, you should not eat. And you know what else they tell you? You better not skip breakfast or you're going to ruin the rest of your day. You're setting the tone for the whole day. They would tell kids this. Horrible. When I skipped breakfast, I felt fine. For me, little tiny bit, tiny breakfast. All I needed. Good. And the first 2 hours of the day, I didn't need it. And then maybe a tiny breakfast. I didn't need anything for another 3 or 4 or 5 hours. If I ate a big breakfast, food coma, wake up, eat, go right face down on the couch, and then stomach ache, and then miserable depression because I'm not getting anything done that day. Now, obviously, you can't do that if you have a normal job. But if you're self-employed and you make breakfast your most important meal, you're ruined. Horrible. So now what do they say? Intermittent fasting. Breakfast is terrible. You can skip breakfast altogether. In fact, skip lunch. Just have dinner. Who's right? Who's right? I can tell you, probably everybody's a little bit, everybody's body's a little bit different. But it works for James. But I can tell you one thing for sure. 99% of people who eat that huge breakfast they show you in the cereal commercials, where there's like 2 pieces of toast, the bowl of cereal, orange juice, a cup of orange juice, and a cup of milk. How could you have a cup of orange juice and a cup of milk and then a whole bowl of cereal with milk? But anyway, that's what they show you, this part of this complete breakfast. And they'd show you 2 pieces of toast, a bowl of cereal, orange juice, milk. What else was on that table? There's like 5 other items on that table. If you eat that breakfast, or if you eat like one of those, like, I don't know, all you can eat breakfast buffets with pancakes and bacon and all kinds of stuff, you are not going to have your most successful day. I would bet 99% of the time that is a bet you will win. That's just me. That's what I'm saying. I'm back on the soapbox. Somebody slid it back under me and I'm standing on it. I didn't even realize. I thought I was off. I thought I was good. I thought I was just chilling and relaxing. Back on the soapbox, just telling all the things. Acting like I know more than I do. Yeah, who would drink a cup of orange juice and milk next to each other? Unless you're doing like a orange cream smoothie, like a creamsicle. Oh, barefoot hippies. If you're going to do a big breakfast and skip lunch, I guess. But if I was going on the road, if I ate a big breakfast and got behind the wheel, I'd be like, if I ate a big breakfast and I was in the passenger seat, I'd be like, and if I was anywhere in the vehicle, I would be like, the only time I can eat a big meal is after big work. I could frame that. I could write that and hang it on the wall. The only time, this is me, maybe you're different. The only time I can eat a big meal and not feel either sick or like I want to go back to sleep is after big work. If I do a big physical job or even a mental job that takes hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, then I can eat a sizable meal usually after that. And it feels like good, like fuel. I need more. Like the Russian. I need more. The Russian bear. However, if I ever go on a trip with Barefoot Hippies, I bet she cooks a wonderful breakfast. I'm going to have her cook me a big giant breakfast and I'm going to eat it all. And then I'm not going to be the driver. I'm going to be in the passenger seat and I'm going to go to sleep. And then hours later, I'll say, Barefoot Hippies, where are we? And she'll say, we're not in Kansas anymore. And I would say, that doesn't help. I don't know where we are. You know what the funny thing is? I didn't eat today much. I had, what did I have? I had some eggs for breakfast. I had some of those little wake up wraps from Dunkin'. Don't get mad at me that I'm mentioning fast food again. Don't get mad at me. It's okay. I'm allowed. I had it was just egg and cheese on a little tortilla. I had a couple of those. And that's all I had all day. And then when I got home from the tax guy, I had a bowl of soup. It was chunky soup. It was a big can, but it was just a bowl of soup. That was it. That's all I had all day. So I'm hungry now. But instead of eating, I'm just talking about food because that's just as good, maybe. Can I tell you guys a funny story? Can I tell you a funny story about what Eileen said? Let me get some water. I'm talking too much. I'm going to tell you this funny story and then I'm going to go because I need to rest my voice after this. It's a true story. I saw it on like a Discovery Channel. It was only about, I don't know, 10 years ago maybe. True story. Ready? This is going to go with what Lisa just said. There is a tribe, an indigenous tribe, somewhere in the world that had very little contact with the rest of the world. In fact, they had zero contact with the rest of the world in terms of knowing anything about the rest of the world. However, some people had managed to, some people from the outer world, from the first world, had managed to visit them and find out that they're a friendly tribe. They're not going to try to spear them for showing up. They're a friendly tribe, and they're a small tribe. There's only like 25, 30 people in the whole thing, but they've been living, for years, for generations in this little tiny corner of the world where they were still kind of undiscovered. So a bunch of scientists, like anthropologists, people, whatever, they went and they got into this tribe and they visited and they found they're very friendly. So they kind of infiltrated them, like kind of hung out with them and got to learn what they're like until they actually learned enough of their language to communicate. And they made great friends with them. And then along the way, they taught them some English. And this went on for a while. And then eventually, they had a great idea for a great study. And these anthropologists, scientist people, they said to the tribal people, how would you like for one of your people to come with us and we'll show you where we come from. We'll show you our world and we'll show you all the things we do. And for 1 month. And I don't know if I don't know how they communicated this, but they communicated it in a way it was understood well enough that somebody said yes, and the chief volunteered to be the one. He wanted to go see, he said, yeah, I want to go see what the rest of this world is like in whatever language he spoke. So, and this is a true story. It was on Discovery Channel. They videotaped the whole thing. So this chief, he got to get in an airplane. First, he got to get in a car. Oh my gosh! Now these people have never seen electricity. Maybe they've seen an airplane overhead, but they've never seen any appliance. They've never had clothing except a few things that they made with some reeds and some animal skins. But like this is real bare bones tribal, what you would imagine, same as you would find 4,000 years ago before all of civilization invented all this stuff, okay? And this guy, for the first time in his life, he gets to get in a car. Can you imagine what that would feel like? He gets to ride in a car. Okay. Then he gets to stay at a hotel. He gets to taste all the different foods and stuff. He gets to sleep in a bed. He gets to see what curtains are like and doors. Carpet, sidewalk, television. Can you imagine television? Can you imagine seeing a screen for the first time that has little tiny people that are talking and they... Can you imagine how his brain would explode? And then he goes on an airplane. An airplane. Can you imagine? He gets on an airplane. What is he thinking? What's going through his head? Is he like, can you imagine what that would be like for one of us to go to another planet where aliens did things that blew our minds, where, like they could read each other's thoughts and they could do all kinds of magical things that we didn't think were ever possible. I mean, can you imagine how his brain was exploding? Like, oh my gosh. So what did they do? They took him to California, to Los Angeles, if I remember correctly. And for 1 month, he got to live in Los Angeles. with the scientists and everything, carting him around, taking him to restaurants, movies, showing him all the people. Like, he'd never seen more than the 25 or 30 people in his tribe, and now he sees hundreds, thousands of people, all different types of people. He'd only seen people with the skin like his people. Now he sees all different people, all different hair, crazy clothing, sidewalks, skyscrapers, telephone, computers, right? 1 month. They take him for 1 month. Okay? Now here's the best part of the story. Are you ready? This is why this is not just an interesting story, but a hilarious story. Are you ready? After 1 month of this, they put him back in the car to the airport, back on the plane. I think he had like 2 main scientists on either side of him who were like, his chaperones. Flew back to his country, got back in a car, drove way back out into the middle of nowhere, took whatever it takes, to get back to his tribal area. And they have cameras on him the whole time, making a whole documentary. Take him back, and now here he is walking back to his tribe. And he sees his people, his family, for the first time in a month. What does he say? What could he say to communicate to them what he experienced? Does he cry? Does he go up to his wife and hug her? Does he take her back into a hut and tell her like trying to explain like a magical this, and like, does he gather around all his children and like tell them? Are they jumping up and down because they want to go next? Like, what does he say? Are you ready? First words out of his mouth. And I honestly can't remember if he said it. I think he said it in his language and they had the words translated at the bottom. Because he did speak some broken English by this point. So he could have said it in English. So I can't remember exactly, but I think he said it in his tribal language to all the, the people. All the people, they all came out to meet him, all like 25 or 30 of them. They're all gathered around in this clearing, right? They're all standing there in their traditional clothes waiting, and he walks up right into the middle of the clearing. This is what he says. All they do is eat all day long. Eat, eat, eat. I got so fat. And all the tribal people go, oh. He was like super happy. He was like he thought it was the biggest joke in the world. Like he couldn't wait to tell his family how funny he thought this was. Like, no, never mind. He saw television, airplanes, TV. That's the same as television. He got to drive in a car. He got to see skyscrapers. Nope. He could not believe how many times. All they were doing is driving him around. We're going to eat again. Again? We're going to eat again. We just ate 3 hours ago. We're going to eat again. You're sitting in the hotel waiting until we eat again. Like, so, would you like a snack while we're waiting? Oh, the room service. What would you like to order? Yep. and he was back in his traditional clothing. He just had like a kind of a not a loincloth. It was a little bit more than that, and then like something over the shoulder. But his belly was out, and he probably put on like 15 pounds. He didn't look, he didn't look like really big. He looked like himself, but he just stuck his belly out, and he went. I got so fat. He's like, all they do is eat. I got so fat. and all the tribal people went, this is great. This is the funniest joke in the world. Like, they didn't care. Did he ever tell them about television or airplanes? I don't know. Can you imagine later that night, he's in his hut with his wife and his 5 kids around, all different ages. There's like a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old. There's a teenager, and there's like a preteen, and there's like a 10-year-old. And they're all around, and they're like, tell us more. Tell us more about when you went to visit the other people. And he's like, well, they had this box that had like where you could see little people inside it. And they're like, what? It's like, it was a box and you could see little people. They're like, no. Tell us about the food. How many times did you eat? Oh, yeah. So we woke up and we ate, and then we went somewhere, and then we ate again. And then, oh my gosh, guess what we did next? Did you eat? You ate again? We ate again. And they're just laughing all over again. They're like hugging, they're crying, they're laughing. And their wife is poking his belly. You did get fat. I know. I did. Look, kids, look. I got fat. Papa got fat. Yay! Kids are all like dancing. Yay! This is so. Papa had the best time ever. Oops, just internet cut out for a second. yeah, Lisa, you ate so much you were hallucinating. All that other stuff, there was no planes or cars or television. You were just so full, you were seeing things. Anyway, I'm going to go now. Have a wonderful night. Thank you, Sandy. Eileen, that sounds really exciting and cold. Yep. I'm going to sneeze now. Thank you, Ocean Current. Thank you. Good night. Yes, everybody be safe. Tomorrow, we'll be doing a live show. I'll miss all of you until then. It'll be 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, hopefully around those times. I'll make a little quick video to tell you when I'm ready what time we're going on. But just start tuning in around 2 o'clock. Just check your device just in case if you're around. 2 o'clock my time, Eastern time. That's 1 o'clock Central, noon Mountain, 11 a.m. Pacific. And that's maybe 2 o'clock. It might be 3 o'clock. But right around then, like, start looking. And I should have an update to tell you. like when we're going on. Yep, we'll talk about that next time. Like people who never get sick, people who never get certain illnesses. What are they doing differently? I don't know. But anyway, good night, everybody. Eat something healthy tonight, or something enjoyable, or both, or just have a good night, and do something that makes you happy before you go to sleep. Hopefully legal. Hopefully ethical. Good night.